If any of you are like me, traveling is stressful, and I want to make my overall business trips less stressful, as much as I possibly can. And Microsoft 365 Copilot's helping me do this. Hey everyone, welcome to the Microsoft 365 Copilot Connection. My name is Nick Harris, and I am a senior Copilot Cloud Solution Architect with Microsoft. This week I'll be traveling. I'm going to be on site with some customers, and I'm trying to figure out how to make travel overall less stressful for me. I do find that as I'm trying to pack up all my materials, I may forget things, or I just don't have all the information that I require. So, what I want to do is I want to see what Copilot can do in order to help me out in this particular scenario. So, let's go ahead and hop right on in. Let's get some prompting done, and let's see how Copilot can give us some great travel information that we can lean on. So let's prompt through two use cases. The first use case we'll focus on is with the licensed functionality built directly in Microsoft 365. The second use case will focus on the unlicensed functionality that's available, or Copilot Chat, which is available to all enterprise users today. And this will help show all of you the similarities as well as the differences between these two experiences. Now, I'm currently in the work chat, and this is where I have access to all of my enterprise data, my emails, my files, my Teams messages, so on and so forth. And in here is where I'm going to prompt. And there's a few different ways that I could lay this prompt out. In this particular case, I'm going to ask Copilot to plan my travel itinerary for Acme Corporation in relation to our travel to Orlando from August 3rd to August 6th. I'm telling it to directly go out and search my enterprise for my recent work information focused on travel with Acme. Maybe I have documents, or chats, or emails that directly correlate to this. I can have Copilot go and find that information for me. Or, if I directly knew where that information was, I could reference it. I could leverage the plus option right here to add content. And this would allow me to find content around me, such as my Acme Corporation travel meeting notes. Maybe there's a meeting notes that I had via a Teams meeting that I want to reference. I could include those as well. But let's just see if Copilot can find it. And there we go. We can see that Copilot has found that particular document that's available within my work data. So now I can leverage that information to move forward with planning out my actual travel. It looks like Copilot's also recommending me additional resources that I could leverage in relation to planning out my overall trip. I could use these if I want. In this case, we're just going to keep moving forward. So my next prompt will very simply be, create a travel checklist I can use to ensure I have all materials I need for business travel this week. I need to ensure I have all required materials such as clothing, technology, etc. Where needed, ask me questions so I can provide you information you require to create a full checklist. I want to ensure I am 100% prepared. I do find that last sentence to be very important, and the reason why is because sometimes you just don't know what to ask or what you might be missing. And this allows you to see those particular questions that Copilot asks so you can leverage those as inspiration and ensure that you're not forgetting something. So now we see Copilot is providing us a comprehensive business travel checklist for Orlando from August 3rd to August 6th. We have our travel essentials. That makes sense here. We have our clothing accessories as well. It does look like it's placed in bold inline questions. Are there any formal dinners or events planned? It also has, based on the amount of days that I'll be there, noting how much in terms of clothing I might require, or sleepwear, or workout clothes. We also have technology and work materials. Will you be presenting or distributing materials at the workshop? Maybe something that I need to have printables for. That would make sense. Toiletries as well. Some additional considerations, travel apps like Uber. I do use Uber a lot. Snacks, reading materials. Okay. And then finally, could you confirm? Will I be presenting or leading? Or do I have any dietary restrictions? Or would I like to generate a printable or digital version of the checklist? Oh, we could do that as well. We could actually print it out so we have a physical copy in case we don't have access on our devices. Now, I think one of the most important things to note is we are all looking to find the best food that we can whenever we travel. So in this case, I'm asking Copilot, hey, I'm interested in food options. Based on the days that I will be on site, I need 2 dinner recommendations as well as local grocery store locations in the surrounding area. I will be staying in a hotel that is about 1 mile away from Walt Disney World. That way it knows where exactly to look, and then provide me dinner recommendations for 2 nights within a 10-mile radius and grocery store options within a 5-mile radius. We now have the overall recommendations directly provided by Copilot. It looks like it two options there, grocery stores. And again, we could expand back and forth a little bit here and there. We could have a list of 10 options that we could pick from. We could have additional grocery store options that are provided as well. Just because we have some initial limiting options, like one or two entries, doesn't mean you can't expand. So ask it to expand. Ask it for more. Are there any additional locations? Are there any additional dinner options? What is the cost? Give me some options in that case so I know the average cost that I might spend based on the areas that I go. So our next prompt will be provide me a list of 10 restaurant locations and maximum 5 grocery store locations based on the search criteria from the previous output and prompt. Format those options into a table. And now you see we have the overall table of information, ratings, address, the type of food that it may be. We also have grocery store locations as well, their specialty address as well, and any ratings that it could directly find. Now, I want to take all of this and put it all together. We have our checklist, we have food options. Let's add it all into one single form output. So, our second to final prompt will be provide all checklist items as well as restaurant and grocery store locations in a single output. You now see Copilot has provided us all options available: clothing, technology, toiletries, dinner restaurants, grocery store locations, and now we can directly answer this final question. Would you like this formatted into a downloadable PDF? Yes, please format this into and I'm going to put downloadable PDF in here. Let's submit that off. And there's our final output, our detailed travel checklist, dinner and grocery store location options. We can directly click and open the PDF. And there we have the full PDF of options available to us. It looks like it's been formatted very nice, neat, and organized. Up some overlap on the address. We could work with that a little bit, but overall, we have some great information that's been provided to us that we can now leverage and use to ensure that we're fully prepared for our travel. Now, for those of you who may not have a Microsoft 365 Copilot license, this use case is still very valid and still something that you can leverage Copilot for. The only key difference, however, is that you don't have access to all of that rich work data. So, what does that mean for you? It means you need to be more detailed in the type of information you provide Copilot. You saw how, in the very beginning, with the work example, Copilot could go out to my enterprise, it could reach into my work data and pull all of that customer information for me. Instead, with the web version of Copilot that does not have access to that work data, I have to feed Copilot that information in my prompt. So in this case, my prompt will be create a detailed travel itinerary for my business trip to Orlando with the dates. I'm attending a Microsoft 365 Copilot workshop for Acme Corporation with the direct address listed on August 4th and 5th from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. I'll arrive at the Orlando airport on August 3rd in the afternoon and stay at the Hyatt Regency Orlando. Include ground transportation, a welcome dinner on August 3rd, and my return flight on the evening of August 5th. In a separate section, include a travel checklist, 10 options for dinner locations in a 10-mile radius of the customer location, with formatted as a table, and maximum of 5 grocery store locations within a 10-mile radius of the customer location, also formatted in a table. Now, I do notice with this initial output, it does give me some pretty decent information to start with, but a lot of this would have been included within my enterprise data. Be very cautious because, again, since this can't directly access enterprise data, it's limited on the knowledge that it has. So some of the information here could be inaccurate. You have to do your checks and balances. As I scroll down to the travel checklist as well, we see it's not really a filled out full travel checklist like it was in the work output. And that's because we've included so much for Copilot to do in a single form prompt. And so in this case, we may need to expand on that a bit further. However, I did see the dinner options and the grocery store locations were pretty spot on, so I have that information available to me too. What I would probably do in this case is then continue to prompt and say expand on the checklist, ensure I have all of my essentials, my hardware technology requirements, any clothing options, things of that nature, to fill that checklist out, and then finally, of course, generate a printable PDF document. But this shows the value of the work versus the web-based options for Copilot. With that Copilot license, Copilot automatically has access to all of that rich work data that's around you and can directly include that information in the direct output. So you don't have to be so detailed in your prompts. With the unlicensed version, this is all still very viable and possible as well. You just need to give it more information since it doesn't inherently have access to that information. So I hope that this material has been valuable to all of you with these use cases and shows you the similarities and differences between the licensed versus the unlicensed version of Microsoft 365 Copilot. If you like this video, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. I'm always happy to share new use cases and valuable updates that Copilot has coming out. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below in the comment section. If you have any colleagues that are directly traveling here in the not so distant future, share this use case with them. Show them how they can leverage AI to enhance and automate the full planning requirements for travel. Thank you all so much for your time as always. I very much appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one, everyone. Have a good one.